in Nubia. Those of you who aren't familiar with Nubia, it is the community active action component of narrative with a K, narrative.com. That's where we come together with the knowledge, Dr. Greg Carr, Dr. Daniel Black. So this Sunday, Dr. Daniel Black has been leading us through a rites of passage. I'm not going to talk details at all, but this past Sunday, we all got our names, and 50 plus people. And it was emotional, it was transformative, it was exhilarating, it was all of the things. And what I realized in that moment, as Dr. Black was encouraging us to get the names on our tongue, he said, you learned English. Your ancestors came here, and most of them came with 3 languages, maybe 4, and then we had to add English with nobody to really teach us syntax and subject verb agreement and all that other stuff. Matter of fact, we weren't taught to do anything, as a matter of fact, it was illegal to teach, particularly reading. But he said, these names may feel and sound foreign, but just imagine that the original name and how important names are, and actually I'm doing a podcast series that Dr. Black participated in as well last night, where I start off asking what's in a name. And, names are so powerful. But in that moment, as he was taking us through the names and the origin countries, mine is, I'm not going to say on these airwaves in this open space, but it is from the Shona people. And I was doing a little research, and I was thinking, about the time of one of the first few times I sat with Dr. Greg Carr for In Class with Carr. I remember him saying that in certain cultures, there's no word for orphan. And it was, I sat up, and he said, there's no word for widow, because in a lot of the indigenous African cultures, you can never have an orphan or a widow, because there's always the community. There's no there's no orphanages, because people are going to take care of people. And I was thinking about that. We're going to, of course, talk about Khashoggi today. We're going to talk about this sitting president, and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. We're going to talk about the Epstein files, because there's been a vote. And one lone congressperson said, nah, I don't want this to be released. We're going to talk about him, too. We're going to talk about him. But I want to start with the word maintenance. Tomorrow's Wellness Wednesday. I'm going to carry this theme probably throughout the week. But this notion of maintenance, I came across a podcast hosted by Frank, F-R-N-C-K, Zanu, Z-A-N-U. He has a very amazing podcast, and he was talking about the word maintenance not existing. And as you're listening to this clip, I want to start off with this clip. Do not lean into the negativity of it, because he's talking about African nations and why they're not developed. But I thought there was something really profound in this notion of maintenance that I want to discuss today as it relates to our checking out. We'll vote every 4 years, most of us, and then we just kind of check out. We don't maintain our liberation. We don't maintain our rights and resources. We don't maintain our freedoms. We don't maintain them, and it requires something of us. But this discussion, let's start there. Play it, Smith.
You're trying to say that, from what I'm understanding, in third world countries, anything that is not under maintenance is because, we don't care.
No, you care. It's not in the concept. Travel the 54 countries in Africa and ask each person in every country, what is wrong with your country? Leadership. All of you say the same word. So let me ask you, since 1960, the country has been picking the wrong leader every 4 years. Not a single railway built by the British is in Nigeria today, but the one they built in their country that same year, it's still running. Not a single railway built in Ghana in 1960 is still there today. What do you know in that country that has been properly maintained by the people every day and it works perfectly?
It's hard for people to maintain things when they're not gaining a lot.
No. It's hard for people to maintain things when they don't have the concept of maintenance in their culture. What is the one word in Igbo for maintenance?
Maintenance is, there's no direct English word for that. It doesn't translate directly to maintenance.
That's correct. How about you?
It doesn't translate.
That's correct.
But it translates to like take care of.
No, that is not maintenance. What is the one word for repair in Igbo?
Imezie.
Exactly. What is the one word for repair in You see? I'm driving you to somewhere. What is the one word for democracy in Igbo language? You don't. How about you? You don't. You're trying to practice something that is not in the concept of the language. There is no African country, and I've done it through Kenya, I've done it all, that has an equivalent of the word maintenance.
Well, in order to maintain something, you have to have it first, correct?
No, if I leave it for you, you can maintain it. The British left a lot of things in this country when they left. They established the hospitals, they established the fire station, the post offices, the railway lines, the roads they built before they left. You are not able to maintain it because you don't have that concept. Because your environment, the tropical environment of Africa, the way you build your houses, the material you use, you don't require maintenance. Every country that is called industrialized countries, today, one of the things you know about them is maintenance of what they have. That's why we have buildings here that are about 250 years old, 300 years old in this country. There are buildings in other countries of Europe that are 700 years ago. The Notre Dame that burned in France was a 13th century building. Do you know what kept it that long till today? Maintenance is a culture.
Maintenance is a culture. Of course, that was Frank Zanou. He was talking with Lawrence Bempe and Eileen Ogbuka. And I thought that was so profound because I think about us, and tomorrow I'm going to get into the bodies. How do you maintain your body? Those of you who drive cars, do you just drive your car and never change the oil? Do you just drive your car? You never change the oil. You don't put gas in. You don't change the brake pads and the filter. Do you do that to your car? What about your home? I just had to replace a whole roof, and I didn't want to. There was a very bad storm here a couple of weeks ago, and I looked up, and it was a drip, drip, and I said, what the hell? This was not in my plans. I did not plan to replace a damn roof because, once they get up there, then it's like the flashing. No, it's not just the flashing. Then they pull up the roof. No, it's not. Oh, we got to replace all of the plywood. Maintenance. We're heading into winter. Your pipes may freeze. What are you doing to maintain that? Are you flushing your system? Are you turning off the water? I've had a pipe burst in my home before because I didn't turn off the water in an outside place, and it was a mess. Maintenance. How do we maintain our freedom? We're going to be going through a time with this current president, but then there's going to be a complete shift. That pendulum's going to swing, and we're going to feel like we're post-racial and that we're post-tyranny and we're post-fascism, and we will not be post-fascism unless we decide to make maintenance part of our culture, meaning that we're going to do more than just show up every 4 years. So I want to talk about that today. The number here is 866-801-8255 as it relates to this current sitting president and how we got here. I have a bunch of clips that I want to play that will remind us. Matter of fact, Smiz, I was going to wait for this, but I want to remind people how we got here. So we got here because we didn't maintain. Y'all, most of us showed up and voted to elect Barack Hussein Obama. We were excited. People were crying. There was a Denzel Washington tear going down the face of Jesse Jackson. I hope he recovers. I know he is ill right now, but we were all holding hands, singing Kumbaya. We thought it was going to be beautiful. Look what America has done. On the other side, because for a reaction, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That's science. Y'all can study it. Don't talk to me. Please, let's read more. The equal and opposite reaction was like, oh, hell no, there will not be a Negro ever again. What do we have to do to prevent this from ever happening? Well, they got together in a room and said, we're going to make him a one-term president. Okay, what does that look like? Tea Party stuff started popping up all over. We're going to control the local elections. They had a whole game plan. And that plan we had during the Southern strategy, let's dust that off and turn it into something else. Let's go to, we'll call it Project something else. And, he's got a Supreme Court pick. Let's hold that. Let's hold the line. We're going to hold the line. We're going to get everybody in a line. We're going to maintain what we have right now. We cannot let this. Oh, he got reelected. Wait a minute. This could never happen again. And I think really, the thing turned. There was a White House Correspondents' Dinner, and I remember it like it was yesterday. Seth Meyers was the host. Do y'all remember this? Because I used to watch it on C-SPAN. I might have been there that night. 2011. No, I was not. Let's play Seth Meyers first.
Donald Trump said recently he has a great relationship with the blacks, though unless the blacks are a family of white people, I bet he's mistaken. I like that Trump is filthy rich, but nobody told his accent. His whole life is models and gold leaf and marble columns, but he still sounds like a know-it-all down at the OTB. Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke. Donald Trump often appears on Fox, which is ironic because a fox often appears on Donald Trump's head. If you're at the Washington Post table with Trump and you can't finish your entree, don't worry, the fox will eat it.
Oh, so he sat there fuming. If y'all remember this, I remember it. He did not crack a smile. He did not chuckle. He sat there with the face from hell. Then President Barack Hussein Obama took the mic. He took the mic because it's the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's the night, it's sort of like a little gentle roasting. It's the night where the press corps, they come together, they raise some money for the future of journalism. We're going to get into that as we talk about Khashoggi today. We're going to talk about this man as it relates to the tyranny that we are currently being governed by. But Barack Obama took the stage, and Trump was still sitting there fuming. And here's what Barack Obama said in 2011.
Someone should get to the bottom of that. And I know just the guy to do it. Donald Trump is here tonight. Now, I know that he's taken some flack lately, but no one is happier, no one is prouder to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald. And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing? What really happened in Roswell? And where are Biggie and Tupac? All kidding aside, obviously we all know about your credentials and breadth of experience. For example, no, seriously, just recently in an episode of Celebrity Apprentice at the steakhouse, the men's cooking team did not impress the judges from Omaha Steaks. And there was a lot of blame to go around, but you, Mr. Trump, recognized that the real problem was a lack of leadership. And so ultimately you didn't blame Little John or Meatloaf. You fired Gary Busey. And these are the kind of decisions that would keep me up at night. Well handled, sir. Well handled. Say what you will about Mr. Trump. He certainly would bring some change to the White House. Let's see what we've got up there.
Yeah, so he sat there fuming, and the movement, the hell no, never again, never another black person ever again, found their leader. They found their foil. They found their one. That man he was hotter than fish grease, sitting there being ridiculed appropriately, being held up as a joke appropriately. And now he has the last laugh on all of us because we failed our maintenance. We failed our maintenance. So we're going to talk about it because I'm never going to forget. When they say never forget, this is part of that, right? When things happen, we need to go back, remember, and then make sure that it never happens again. We need to have that same energy that they had, but for good, not for the evil that we are currently under. So we're going to talk about the evil as this president sat there with a man who oversaw the killing of a journalist and sat there smiling with this man. I still want to know why this administration, the Saudi regime, gave Jared Kushner $2 billion. Don't you want to know? We have yet to find out. We don't know what happened to that money and why was the crown prince at the White House today. We're going to talk about that as well. But what did happen to Jamal Khashoggi? When we come back, the number here is 866-801-8255, 866-801-TALK is the number. It's the Karen Hunter Show. We're going to talk about it, and I want to hear from you. We'll be right back.
The Women's Empowerment Network invites you to Karen Hunter is Awesome, the podcast.